that we're gonna start into the lower bracket semifinal. Lin versus 120. It's time. Remo's taking a little nap, but that's okay. Online for 3 hours already. So the next grand final rematch. They were opponents just 2 months ago, and a week ago they were standing side by side in the WGTL grand final against the Rogue Warriors, undefeated in the regular season, one defeat in the winner bracket final. But then this man, usually not a carry in team competition, he really cared about the well-being of Lawlight and Lin. He stepped it up, he showed his very best Warcraft, and he carried ELL to the $120,000 title, or $42,000 title for one team.
Yeah, this is going to be a super fun matchup here. ELO rank 2 and 3 are fighting against each other here, by the way. Only Moon ahead of these two. Historically, between them, it has been very even. They have met almost 40 times, and it's 55% win rate only for Lin. And the last 5 encounters have been 3-2 in 120's favor. In fact, the last 6 were 3-3. So everything is pointing towards this being a very even affair. If both play serious, that's kind of a disclaimer we have to put out there with 120 involved. Because earlier, that wasn't exactly the case.
Exactly. We got a little join bug here, so in a second we're gonna start this again. I mean, Lin is usually playing normal. He's playing some varying builds, some skip barrackses, but in general, everything is like playing up to the meta or redefining the meta with a couple of changes here. But 120, what's it going to be? Crypt Lord, Dread Lord, Lich First, Tavern Hero, Tower Pushes, Mass Destroyers, Mass Abominations, Tier 2 Banshees. No one knows. He's Mr. Unpredictable. And now we start into this best of 3 series.
This time, it seems to work? Question mark. Yeah, 120, what's he gonna show us? Normally, the craziest thing that Lin does is like TC second. Yeah, he plays some Blade Master. Yeah, he plays some Farseer, but both those are established meta builds. It's not like they're cheesy and have a low chance of working if the opponent just scouts it. No, they're both viable. But what's 120 gonna be doing?
That is the big question indeed. Echo Wilds. I have to restart the tool, and then we go in game.
Top left, we have 120. The Undead. The best Undead in the East. Very likely the best Undead versus Orc player in the world against Lin, the best Orc in the world, spawning in the top right in the blue. And looking at our builds, we can already see a deviation from earlier. No longer a ghoul opening, no longer a fast expansion with Dreadlord. It seems like 120 is returning back to standard, maybe taking this second series a little more seriously. Question is, what's Lin gonna be doing? Blade or Farseer?
Good question. We will have the answer in a couple of seconds. Thank you, Serbian Jarks, for the 22-month resub. 120, the last hope for the Undead. He is facing a Farseer, and he decides to go for the DK. So, usual Ted Fiend build order for the Necromancer, so far, at least.
Yeah, I like the Farseer here. Farseer, in my opinion, the stronger strategy. Expansion, pretty reliable. TC levels, reliable. Normally, you should get level 3 Farseer pretty quickly. Blade Master can be tempting with all the claws here. But it's not just about the claws. You also need to level your second and third hero. And that on this map is not so easy. Unlike the expansion, which we'll most likely be seeing on Tier 2. Acolyte Scout going to be finding out what's going on here in a bit. And that doesn't necessarily have to tell Lin what's going on. Even with the Ghoul Expo strat, you can fit in a Scout Acolyte. I wonder if Lin's going to be scouting for that possibility.
A player's forces are under
Not right away.
Okay. Acolyte stays alive, knows what's up. Farseer fast tech. Takes a moment to creep up the DK. Circle of mobility for the Farseer. Pretty much the same creep speed with the coil invested. Claws of attack for 120. And tech is starting now. Not a big lead for Lin, but what can his harass do with wolves early, with range attack early?
We have seen this cool orc build, or creep route on this map quite a bit recently. Farseer creeps the first camp, then goes aggressively in, looking for some skeleton last hits maybe, summons the wolves, keeps the undead busy, and then retreats with the Farseer into the middle to creep the merchant and do so easily with the resummoning of the wolves. Here we see it. Wolves going into the back, 1-0 obviously required to deal with this.
forces are under attack.
But Lin is not falling back towards the middle just yet. Sticking around a little bit longer. We saw earlier how not getting a quick level 3 Farseer can really lead to big problems in the mid game. So I hope Lin's going to be prioritizing that more here in this game.
1-0, not too cheap to go for Nerup Tower. This certainly helps him defend this, as wolves are usually quite fast, but slowed down, you can easily move the acolytes away. No lumber mill or anything just yet, just more grunts for more creep. Wait, what?
Oh wow. That is so nice if he gets it. 1-0 scouting for the natural, but Lin is over at his merc.
Dude,
at
even with the
900
lightning
hours.
shift, he's not even sniping the renegade only, he's taking this entire camp!
This is amazing. And this is something that orcs have been doing more and more, especially in this matchup. Get the merc camp early, do it with the cover of nighttime, get the berserker, get big experience. And undeads have to start scouting for this more.
Sick.
We've been seeing it quite a bit on Terranas especially already, also on Twisted. Now Echo has to be added to the list.
The acolyte was, scouting at the merchant, but not enough here. We're lining up for a nice lich already to have a double claw. Farseer finds the claw +9, so this would have been a +21 lich right away. Good for Lin to steal this one away. Oh, you got?
If Lin gets the enemy merc and the ogre magi item, and he's not even having to use heal cells for that yet, that is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. He's level 3. What kind of creep route is this?
It's super
Green
sick.
into enemy merc into ogre magi equals level 3, and he didn't even need heal cells yet. Oh my god.
Chain lightning. Absolutely god tier orc play.
Yeah, guys, write down this opening, this early game right here by Lin. This is insane. I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that Lin isn't keeping this opening secret for bigger tournaments.
Yeah.
Because this is not gonna work out so well the next time.
Yeah, I agree. Don't know if... I mean, it's between teammates. Maybe he thinks he has to do something special and he really wants to continue to play this tournament this weekend. But yeah, this is a strat, this is a creep route that is worth saving for WGL semifinals. Maybe it's more exposed than we think, but then 1-0 would check for it, I guess. Oh, trying to surround here. Doesn't get the second renegade yet. But you know what? He's getting not only the 12 o'clock, he's also getting the 6 o'clock.
So much experience with guys who do this ridiculous. He's gonna be level 4 so fast. TC experience is suffering a little bit, but so is the DKs, kind of. DK now steals the camp away from the orc side. That is certainly very nice. But the Lich is gonna have a super tough time leveling.
Yeah. I mean, Lich is always good, but he just scales so well. Question is, when will Lin go for this expansion that we have to see with this build? And Snare's coming. 1-0. Oh, counter steals the Renegade here.
And Lin doesn't predict this boldness. Bit of a mistake perhaps by him. Gives up a lot of experience from this camp. Trying to force a TP here, trying to punish, but that doesn't work. Okay, 1-0.
Good answer.
Yeah, fought his way back kind of well in the creep war department, but still favoring Lin.
Tier 3 on the way. Tier 3 actually done. So what's the third hero? Is it Cryptor time?
Players' forces are under attack.
Or will we go to something else? Destroyer form first against the Wolves. Kind of interesting to see that it's such a priority in a matchup, but against the Wolves that makes sense. Expo here now. Not super greedy, not on 32-29 supply, but at almost 40. We've seen greedier Lin plays, so more conservative in that regard.
Got the dust at the shop as well. Easy to forget. We see it forgotten indeed often. And the Farseer,
Players' forces are
not
under
even harassing that much, just prioritizing his own levels a lot, which is going to result in a ridiculously fast level 4. And the TC still be able to get level 3 on his side of the map.
Yep, pretty easy actually. And he's close in case 120 wants to push this. It is time for the Dark Ranger.
Even with level 4 Farseer is creeping more. Main priority here is to take these camps away from 120, I guess.
forces are under attack.
Lin's army isn't that big yet. I'm amazed that this Farseer isn't returning home sooner. Now he is.
He has no staff or anything, just a TP, but he can't use it here. This looks like an easy cancel.
If he commits, Lin is coming in with the end snares and stomps. He can't force it. Lich has crazy inventory, but no Nova. That makes finding kills at the beginning of the fight very difficult. In we go. End snare, not towards the destroyer or statue. Those were kept in the back. But the TC finds the perfect stomp opportunity. No split by 120, surprisingly. Kodo comes in, gets off the Devour. Some grunts are dying as well. Lich needs his level 2 so badly. And with the Raider, he gets it. Now, Nova becomes available. Another coil finds the destroyer. Stomp. This time dodged well. Fiend's not really affected. Fight is all over the place. Boro coming in, but there is a dust.
Dark Ranger with the black arrow, providing a lot of skeletons here and good focus fire towards the headhunter, so the destroyer free to reign invests a lot to get that fiend back out of the Kodo. That is indeed a 7 supply swing, and he does get it. But the fiend is hurt. What's going on here? The Dark Ranger just falls to a chain lightning. How many chain lightning kills today? People still underestimate it. That's a TP out right here. There's no dust anymore. Burrow, is this one in range? Run. No. No chance. Oh, not dusted anymore. Haha, tricked.
Decent attempt there by 120. But once he got stomped like that, he couldn't win that fight anymore, especially considering that Lich wasn't level 2 for such a long time. This early game, not really recoverable, I guess. Lin here, that was a good fight by him, but he won the game in the first 5 minutes, not really here at the end. Well, maybe I shouldn't speak too soon. The game is not over yet, but now Lin has the second base of income. Takes out one more fiend. TC coming back with a clarity running, but no mana potion, and Lin's mana is actually pretty low. 120 is bringing in the ghouls, morphing the destroyers. He's throwing everything in the kitchen sink.
We have a mana potion for him. We got an Invo potion for him, but the Dark Ranger is kind of exposed as well. Heal Scroll and Invo potion on Lin as well. If he holds, he pretty much wins the game. Takes care of the burrow first, still able to get up to 60 supply. How many headhunters can he take out? We got ghouls in this fight.
Invo on the TC has the next stomp ready now, and again hitting very nicely. Trying to go for the destroyers. Those are pretty survivable though. And the TC's out of mana. Now the Dark Ranger might be able to turn this around with the Dark Arrow. More and more skeletons are being raised. Uh-oh. Lin perhaps in trouble.
The Necromancer. Oh, he's gotta be careful for that chain lightning though. He's so careful with the coil. No way! Invo potion on the Lich last second. That's the coil. My lord, was he greedy with that mana. And that's still a lot of skeletons.
Wow. What a crazy comeback by 120. His heroes, also partly the items carrying him here in the late game, takes out the Kodo as well. He's gonna get a ghoul back. And he's ahead in supply. Looking good now on the levels and the mana.
Yeah, grunts are no issue in this fight. Destroyers take him out. And the Raider will fall as well. Great blocks. Coil not aggressively used. Wants to keep this Lich at bay. Oh, 4 Headhunters exposed. How many can he block? Oh, what a mistake by Lin. That's 1. That's 2. This might be game soon. Of course, still double income. No counter expansion by 1-0. He's putting it all in this basket. But the wolves are not an issue. Really. There we go. Dispelled. How's the mana?
Losing so many units, one headhunter after the next, always turning into skeletons, and so many destroyers now as well. The wolves are a non-factor. The Lich hits level 3. And 1-0, I think he may have just turned this game around. That tower does not finish. At the last second, it's cancelled.
Lin only has his heroes. That's it. GG.
Oh my god.
What a miraculous fight by 1-0. Just like in the game against Focus on LR. Great start for the Orc. Great early, superb creep route. All the advantages in the world. Not even a greedy expansion. That was well timed. And then 50 supply push with ghouls, and it's just over with this ghoul push.
I thought Lin had that game. So certainly with that strong defense at the Expo. But 1-0, playing this super well. His destroyer and statue control was insane there towards the end. And that is the downside of this tier 2 strat against super strong undeads. You can get out microed really hard. When you play this style as Orc, you only have like 1 or 2 ensnares and Stomp to use. And that's it. You don't have Hex. You don't have too many speed scrolls, usually. You don't have Windwalk. Don't have Heal Wave either for healing. And 1-0, with the tools that he's given there in the late game, was able to play with his tier 3 advantage very well.
Alrighty. Thank you, FlaxPap, for the 2-month resub. BGW hype. Indeed, pretty hype. And Chip, thank you for the 14-month resub. We go on to Concealed Hill, another good Farseer map. And this is where 1-0 was trying to tower focus. Is he brave enough to do that again?
He can kind of afford it. Up now a map. But he's playing the standard build. No fast fiends here. It's an altar ziggurat Tet Fiend build. Against a normal ultra build also on the Orc side. Yeah, Farseer definitely to be expected here. Not really a very good Blade Master map. Oftentimes you can find yourself under-leveled, under-geared, and can be problematic for the second and especially third hero as well. Whereas for Farseer creeping and for TC Expo, it works out pretty well. So this is why this Farseer has become the primary choice on Concealed and also on Echo Isles. On the other maps, it's mostly Blade Master still. But is that also what we're going to be seeing? Or is Lin going back to the Blade? It's not like it's impossible to play here. Just a little bit hard.
Right, we're going to look at the altars. And next, we had a 2-0 lead for 1-0 as well. And then it is a Blade. Okay, and then it was Lin fighting back with 3 Blade Master games. Again, the Farseer expansion games, not really his most successful ones. It feels like he likes it a lot, but the win rate must be far below the ones where he plays Blade Master. DK Tet Fiends, as you said, no one is skipping anything. So if he decides to tower now, I mean, he will scout it. If he decides to tower now, that would be weird, but fun.
Yeah, with his opening tier 1 tower push, not really a thing. Maybe tier 2. That has even been seen by 1-0. I mean, everything's been seen by 1-0. That guy has played it all. I've even seen him play Worm sometimes, but that was a while ago. Oh, Acolyte is not scouting for the first hero. That's very weird.
Player's forces are under attack.
Huh.
Why? He was scouting in a position where there was nothing to be seen. Still is. Very curious. So that basically means his idea is whether he plays Farseer or Blade Master, it doesn't matter. My opening, my early game plan is still the same. Which is very unusual.
He was looking at the shop for a long time. He still is. We've seen this camp contested in a couple of matches, and that was very, very decisive fights. So make sure to have vision there. And maybe he gets reads from Lin not being here.
Yeah. But it's not even like this tells you everything. Like what Spiral did, for example, in the Meisterschaft was Claws Camp into green into Expo Pool. And that's a quick level 3 Farseer, against which 1-0 would be able to do nothing right now. So it's quite curious. Now he knows about the Blade Master. He shows himself, slays a few skeletons. 1-0, normally a lot more aggressive against Blade Master first than other undeads like Happy are. Which I, as I've said a few times, do prefer quite a bit. Slowing down the Blade Master's progress, making sure he doesn't get to level 3 quickly to make the harass harder in the mid-game. Normally yields a lot of benefits.
Alright, not much action at this state of the game. This will be relatively slow mid-game. Maybe with the Shadow Hunter we battle each other for the Overlord. We've seen this quite a bit. Especially from Lin. There was this insane moment at Next where the Fiend Shot or something was like 1 split second away and got the last, or the Orc Burrow Spear was 1 split second before the Shadow Hunter Chakra, and then he denied itself. That could be a very deciding moment.
Yeah. I imagine 1-0 will be looking for that, scouting for that, trying to prevent it as much as he can. Normally shouldn't be given away for free, and that's of course an old Orc favorite. Lin is playing quite aggressively here. He crept up a little bit with the Blade Master, but not too much. He's wanting to come in once again for the Creep Jack with a phenomenal block. Maybe he can get a Fiend, but does perhaps get it? 1-0 exposing his Fiends here quite a bit. Ooh, okay, does wiggle them out though. Yeah, this early game for Lin really isn't that successful. No Fiend killed, obviously. Not even that much mana on the DK drained. And no level 3. That is, as mentioned earlier, not too easy to achieve on Concealed Hill. But Lin didn't even try.
And we got that very standard game by 1-0 as well. With the Lich, with the Slaughterhouse, with the tier 3 tech. Lin as well, tier 3, Raider and Snare. And then Headhunter's Kodo on tier 3. So he has to creep. He's not luring them out, he's just... I've not seen this in a long time.
Yeah, and 1-0 is allowing this to happen. He knows this is probably going on, but he decides to let it slip. He delays the Lich in favor of faster Slaughterhouse and tier 3 both, and gives away the red camp for free where there is a Cloak of Flames, which is really good.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That looks like a mistake by the undead.
Okay, sees it now, but it is too late. Thank you, Nunox, for the €5 donation. Amazing content as always. Thank you very much. Ooh, Blade Master's quite hurt. But, you know, heal fountains. And we got Hex against the nuke. This should add up nicely. He's not going to the fountain. Continues to creep after the heal self. And this is where 1-0 wants to punch. And there's end snares and there's a hurt blade. We got one heal wave, but uses it early. Great frost armor again. Speed scroll. Can he save everything? No. One grunt down, but this could have been way worse.
How greedy was that by Lin? He retreated back from the red camp, didn't even use his heal selves. Why? Was he trying to heal the fountains? That doesn't make sense. It's daytime soon. One grunt lost. Yeah, that's annoying. But more importantly, the Shadowhunter's progress slowed down. But he did make it to level 2, so that's alright. The Lich doesn't have much of anything here in terms of experience. But Lin, unsure of what to do, is walking across the map, getting scouted by an illusion.
Forces are under attack.
If he wants to get rid of it, needs to hex it. But that costs mana. Finally, Blade level 3.
Very early temple again for Banshees. We don't even have a third hero yet.
That is indeed quite early. That's what I like to see. There was a while, this strat, where Undead's delayed third hero went 50 supply, only Fiend's Banshee statue, then made a Ziggurat, and then broke into upkeep with a Dark Ranger looking for a fight right away. But that's not happening this time, as 120 is waiting for the third hero, which is the Dark Ranger. Wants to give her those slippers, dude. I know it.
Yeah, the Black Arrow turned out to be really, really, really good. This time it won't be that easy as we have tier 3 and the Berserkers upgrade, so more HP on the Headhunters. But also higher levels for the Undead in general. Blade Master scouts things with a level 2 Windwalk now. Do they share the red spots? In the upper left? Okay, on both sides there's a lot of experience left. At the mines, at the fountains.
Oh, Blade Master reveals himself.
Haven't seen the patented Lin Badrider so far with Liquid Fire. Oh, Pendant of Energy, that is really sweet.
Yeah. Basically nobody does this anymore. I guess the Undead's got too good at adapting to it. Blade Master trying to take out the Banshee! And he does. Mistake there by 120. Not using the coil, not even using the curse. But it's only a Banshee. It's 150 gold or something like that. Not the end of the world. I think Lin is happy here splitting the map. He definitely does need levels badly. 120 would like them as well, but doesn't need them so hard as the Shadowhunter and TC and Blade Master do.
We're gonna get there. No web yet. Do we get a Torrent Totem? Wow, nice. He knows about the Banshees, of course, for a bit, and cues him now. Blade Master in for the steal again. Oh, no, cutting reinforcements. Another Banshee? Ooh, these early Banshees didn't pay off at all.
Yeah, it was again pretty sloppy by 120. He saw the Blade Master there for a long time, thanks to the sentry. And then he just walks the Banshee in. Slight mistakes starting to accumulate. Oh, look at those Guadalajara boots though. Hell yeah, bro. 9 Agi on the Dark Ranger.
Yeah, amazing. Game-changing items. I'm a little more happy about the Delirious Flu of Accuracy for Lin and the range attacks. And now Walker's coming. Good levels. We got that level 2 Coil, we got that level 2 Nova, got Silence as well. Seems like both are kind of ready to... Whoa, 120 expanding.
Yeah. At 50, you need to spend your resources somewhere.
Third Banshee down. Oh, miss.
So that's 3 Banshees lost. At least 2 of which were for no good reason. And that does add to add up, certainly.
So what's next? Lin can start to bank and go for a tiny Great Hall counter expansion. Don't think he wants to push this already, as he scales so well with levels. But where to get these levels?
And we have basically no creeps left anymore. Oh, there's a little green down here. That's some nice solo experience for the TC.
Blade Master. What the hell is happening? Reveal. Ooh, Coil. Invul Potion to dodge. Ay.
Alright. Got most of experience from that camp though. Only 1 invul. Doesn't rebuy the invul though.
A player's forces are
It's a
under
little
attack.
dangerous. Blade Master's inventory, not that crazy, but thanks to the Kodo Aura still ends up with plus 19, so not bad.
town is under siege.
And 1-0 now pushing into the enemy main. This is probably not a full-scale attack, just mostly distraction for the Expo in the north, which is now finished and is now also scouted by a peon.
Alright, thanks to the two-shot aura, if there's destroyers, the damage against them from the Blade Master will be insane, but it's gonna be limited destroyers for sure. There's one. So, how good are the storms? It's only level 1, silence immediately. Blade Master needs to bring in the damage. Good, nukes in the back. Raider taking out with that a lot of control, but the misses. Oh, there's a lot of misses. This is not a Saint Sword. Okay, gets the crits now, but Lin is losing quite a bit. Misses again. Ooh, this curse.
Those have been great stomps from the TC though. A lot of disable, good damage as well. 1-0 now trying to clean up in the back with the ranged units and the Orb of Corruption and everything. Lich has no mana anymore, but the DK certainly does. Spirit Link's trying to come out, but destroyers are already ready. Walker almost gonna die there right away, and it does. Level 3 for the Dark Ranger now. 1-0 is taking this fight and was only supposed to be distraction.
Oh, the Expo is running. The Destroyer falls, alright. So no Dispel against the Spirit Link or anything anymore. Blade Master, can he carry this fight with soon to be level 4? TC has mana again on level 2 for that Stomp, just waiting for it. Is he greedily going for the hero kill? He certainly is, if that's a crit. Oh, Hex! Can't go for the TP. How many misses? How many crits? Crit! And that's it! Dispels the Hex, but a tiny bit too late, as Lin's Saint Sword is back when he needs it.
Can he get more kills? He needs them.
Are under attack.
With the Ensnare, he should be able to get the Fiend easily as well, but he needs a bigger kill, I believe. Ah, nice Fiend block. Very well done.
Can he purge? He can certainly hex that Lich. Big invul though. And purges out of that hex. So that's quite some seconds where he's safe, but he hangs around. He's just waiting for the next kill. Lots of skeletons again, but at this point kind of free experience, except if the DK comes in and forces the TP out. Whoo! 20 supply lead and an expansion for 1-0.
Man, if it hadn't been for that hero kill, this game would totally be over.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure. Maybe Lin can greed it up, go for a tiny right now. He's got the levels now, 4, 4, 3. He also knows about the expansion in the north.
Can he push that though? Gold graph starting to go north for 1-0. Thank you, Wuzai, for the 7-month resub. Less than 3 right back. Skeleton looking for a desperate counter expansion, but Lin puts it all into this attack. Kodo on the other side of the map. Raider. 2 Raiders still waiting for it. This is a long Congo line with a lot of social distancing in between. Heroes have to do it themselves, but there's misses again. Coil is ready to keep that Lich safe, and now the Headhunters are starting to fall. Lin's army just wasn't there yet.
Yeah, not big enough, not enough damage, especially with all the Banshees. Walker numbers didn't quite get high enough. Lin is looking for the kills regardless, but he's missing the hits, he's missing the crits. Hero kill, the only option again. He's looking for the DK once more, but it's not gonna happen. GG. 1-0 takes this.
The weakest Lin performance in a long time, or at least the least successful Lin performance. I can't really remember when he was dropping out in the round of 16, but with that group, it's no shame, but it shows that he's beatable. Now, after winning WGL and Next and WGTL, cracks in the shield and 1-0 showing if he takes things seriously,
yeah,
he's just a weapon.
And he's gonna have his chance here to get vengeance as well. Focus drop down to the lower bracket, so it's gonna be a rematch from the first game of the day between the Korean and the Chinese to see who makes it through in second place.
Indeed, man. Rare to see all these 2-0s. Very decisive results so far in most of the games. But alright, the hope for the undead stays alive, even though Lin is out. 1-0 still has a chance. If he plays more standard than in the winner bracket semifinal, his odds are not too bad. We're going to be right back after the last break of the day.